Attention! Thinking!
I'm Sean Bradeseth, and I've been thinking about post-Avatar depression syndrome. I know, you've been thinking about it too, right? Not at all. What on earth is that? Well, I wasn't much of a fan of Avatar. Obviously, the first movie released quite a while ago. The second one released at the end of last year. Overlooked in the Oscars. People thought it was going to do quite well. It won a few minor awards. Didn't do so well, second Avatar, but it obviously has made a huge amount of money. But as the second movie has come out at the end of last year, something came to light that wasn't being spoken about in a mainstream society. It was actually the way people were getting depressed by the first Avatar movie. Now, the first Avatar movie came out long enough ago that people can understand what it did to people's psyches. I want to read something from The Guardian, the UK version of The Guardian, that they wrote in December. Now, just understand, The Guardian has no interest in saying anything good about the Lord. They're not interested in that. But listen to what they say in this article. It all began after the first Avatar was released in 2009. People started posting on a fan site called Avatar Forums that they were feeling down and unsatisfied with their lives after seeing James Cameron's film about humanity's attempt to colonize a pristine planet called Pandora, home to the Na'vi, I think it's pronounced Na'vi, a blue humanoid race. Humanity seemed out of step with the natural world, they felt, especially when compared with the spiritual, environment-loving Na'vi. Now, they're going to quote someone now. Ever since I went to see Avatar, I have been depressed. Watching the wonderful world of Pandora and all the Na'vi made me want to be one of them, one wrote. I even contemplate suicide, thinking that if I do it, I will be rebirthed in a world similar to Pandora, and that everything is the same as in Avatar. Another asked, are there other people out there who think that humanity is going south? The thread received more than 1,000 posts from people around the world experiencing similar feelings. It became so popular that a second thread was created for more room, and the discussion spread to other fan sites. It was picked up by the media in 2010 and eventually labeled Post-Avatar Depression Syndrome, or PADS. Well, that's just one fan site that got 1,000 postings of people who found it and went, yeah, I feel the same. I feel depressed as well. You've heard a person said they wanted to kill themselves. Well, that is a syndrome, but it's not about Avatar. It's not even just about depression. There's something going on there. Well, what's going on? Do you remember when COVID first hit? And in the major cities, as people withdrew into their homes, they had to. And in various places around the world, wildlife started coming back and emerging in various ways. And people started saying, look, the earth is healing itself. Maybe you heard that term. The earth is healing itself. Look, and people began to say things like this. We are the plague. Humans are the plague. We are the problem. And whenever you start saying that, you cannot think straight anymore. And this is what Avatar did. Avatar is just the product of a man's imagination. It's not real. Unfortunately, people get wrapped up in it. But essentially, the message of Avatar was this. People mess up everything. They colonize, they ruin things. Look at these aliens, these blue aliens. They got it right. We corrupt everything we touch. They are pure. That thing will take you down a road you do not want to go down. And it's 100% wrong. We make a mistake when we act as if humanity is faultless. That would be a mistake because humanity is fallen and sinful. We act as if humanity is perfect and we've got no problems. That's a lie. But you also make a mistake in the other direction. When you say humanity is entirely corrupt, there's nothing good in us, the animals are the good ones, that is utter nonsense. Mankind was made in the image of God. We have fallen, but we need to be redeemed. But we are God's image bearers. And when you begin to attack that narrative, people do get depressed. When people are told, what is your way out? When you are told that as a human being, by dint of who you are and what you are, there is no redemption for you. You are just going to ruin everything. Of course you will get depressed. Of course you will hover on the brink of wanting to end your own life. And I want to say to you, the Bible answers this question. As with many, many things happening in society at the moment, right in the beginning of the Bible, this thing gets answered. God creates people in His image. Let us create mankind in our image. And He gives mankind work to do. Man falls, but God has made him from the start to take dominion over things. And it's good. God looks at man and says, this is good. Now man falls and he is corrupted by sin, but he can be redeemed. And I want to read something from Genesis 9, actually. This is after mankind's fall, when God actually wipes out almost all humanity off the earth and starts again with one family, with Noah and his family. I want you to listen to what God says to Noah. Genesis 9, verse 1 to 6. Then God blessed Noah and his sons, saying to them, this is after they landed and the water receded again, saying to them, be fruitful and increase in number and fill the earth. The fear and dread of you will fall on all the beasts of the earth and on all the birds in the sky, on every creature that moves along the ground and on all the fish in the sea. They are given into your hands. Everything that lives and moves about will be food for you. Just as I gave you the green plants, I now give you everything. But you must not eat meat that has its lifeblood still in it. God didn't want them to eat meat with the blood still in it because he was making a point about the life in the blood because Jesus was coming. And then he says this, Genesis 9, verse 5, and for your lifeblood I will surely demand an accounting. I will demand an accounting from every animal. Have you ever read that? God is going to find every animal that takes the life of a person, and he's going to require that that animal gives an account. How's that? No one ever quotes that verse. The reason is we've got such a warped view of humanity, a desire that's from the evil one to push down the image of God. We've begun to believe that animals are actually the holy and pure ones. God's actually going to deal with the animals in a certain way. I want to say to you, you do not have to be depressed by these things. If you feel slightly depressed by mankind's plight and you think man just ruins everything he touches, well, there's something valid in that in the sense that man has fallen. But mankind is not corrupt to his core and unredeemable. He is redeemable. God made us in his image and he restores us. He brings us back full circle through Jesus. I want to say, if you've watched any of those movies or you've been caught up in this absolute deception that says that we are the cancer on the earth and we are the problem. No. Sin is the problem. And Jesus came to deal with that problem. Jesus came, by the way, as a man. He came as a man to deal with the problems of men and women. Praise God. I pray none of us would fall into depression through these things, but we would have our eyes lifted up to see the God who reaches out to us.
The end!